The sun had barely risen over the hills of Ramah when the sound of a woman's quiet sobs carried through the stillness. Her name was Hannah, wife of Elkanah, a man who loved her deeply, but love could not erase her sorrow. For though her heart was kind and her spirit gentle, her womb was silent. Year after year, she walked through the long ache of waiting, her arms empty while others rejoiced. Elkanah had another wife, Peninnah, whose tent was filled with children and laughter. Yet from her mouth came mockery like venom. Each time Elkanah gave portions of meat to his family after the sacrifice, he gave Hannah a double portion, for he loved her, Scripture says, though the Lord had shut her womb. But love was little comfort when hope was slipping away. Every year they journeyed to Shiloh, to the house of the Lord, and every year Hannah knelt to pray, and every year Peninnah's taunts cut deeper. "You claim to serve a God who answers," Peninnah whispered one morning, her tones sweetly cruel. "Then where is your answer?" Hannah said nothing. She had learned that sometimes silence is stronger than argument, but inside her soul screamed. That evening, when the feast was over, she rose quietly from the table and walked toward the tabernacle. The oil lamps flickered faintly. The priest Eli sat by the post, weary and watching. Hannah fell to her knees. Words would not come, only tears. Her lips moved, but her voice was gone. Her prayer was too deep for sound. She poured her pain like water before the Lord, her longing, her shame, her endless waiting. "Lord of hosts," she whispered in trembling breaths, "if you will look upon your servant and give me a son, I will give him back to you all the days of his life." Eli, seeing her lips move without sound, mistook her agony for drunkenness. "How long will you be drunk?" he rebuked. "Put away your wine." She lifted her tear-streaked face. "No, my lord, I am a woman of sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord." Eli's tone softened. "Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant your petition." Something shifted in her spirit. She rose, not because she had her miracle, but because she had peace. Sometimes faith is not what you see, but what you sense after prayer. Months later, her womb stirred with life. She named the child Samuel, meaning God has heard. And when the boy was old enough, she kept her vow. She brought him to the temple, her heart breaking as she placed his little hand into Eli. "For this child I prayed," she said, voice steady but eyes wet, "and the Lord has given me my request. Therefore, I give him back to the Lord." She turned to leave, her footsteps slow, her robe damp with tears. But behind her, Samuel's voice rose in innocent laughter. It was the sound of promise fulfilled. From that moment, Hannah was no longer the barren woman. She became the mother of a prophet. Her tears had written a legacy. Her waiting had birthed a movement. Her sorrow had become a song. Years later, her prayer became praise. "My heart rejoices in the Lord. My horn is exalted in the Lord. For the Lord brings low and raises up. He lifts the poor from the dust and seats them among princes." The woman who once wept in silence now sang loud enough for heaven and earth to remember, because what began in tears ended in triumph. Lessons. Some prayers speak louder in silence than in words. Pain can become prophecy when surrendered to God. Waiting is not punishment, it's preparation. Heaven hears what the world misunderstands. God does not waste tears. He turns them into testimony. The altar hears the language of broken hearts. Faith doesn't always remove pain, it redeems it. Sometimes God delays so the miracle can carry a message. What you release to God, He multiplies beyond you. The same place of sorrow can become the birthplace of revival.